America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have a moment of silent prayer. Amen.
Amen.
All right, this is Tuesday, the 7th of February, 2023. We're in the Town of Bath Municipal Center. Could I have the roll call, please?
Yes. Scott Murphy,
Here.
Rick Weber.
Here.
Greg Forney. Here. Rose Jackson.
Here.
Elizabeth Skinner.
Here.
Chris Chapman is absent. Happy birthday. And Susan Webster's here.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's. Can we have the review of the minutes from the council meeting of January 17th, 2023? I'll take a common consent, any additions or corrections we can make and have put into the record. Everybody okay with it? I thought it looked okay to me, so everyone okay? Common consent?
Yeah.
All right. At this point in the evening here, because one of the people that is here for the Parks and Recs on the committee has to leave here shortly. So I would ask council that we could amend our agenda to move Parks and Recs forward so that they can present their.
A second.
So moved. And you.
Second.
Something.
All right. All those in favor? Opposed? All right. We're going to move down to number 2 on our agenda, which is Parks and Recs. We have Mr. Matt Pennington here and forget your name.
Michael Powell.
Michael Powell. I'm sorry. I apologize. So anyway, I'll let Mr. Pennington address us, and if you all have any questions for him, we ask him to come to the meeting this time because we always like to meet people that are wanting to represent us on a board or on, in this case, Parks and Recs. So, Matt, you have the floor.
Sure. Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, members of council. I'm Matt Pennington. I've lived here in Morgan County since 2004. I've been an active member on your planning commission for a while and wrote a comprehensive plan back in 2014. Worked with, Coach Soccer here with another guy here who's been involved in Parks and Recs and some of the other sports programs here in town. And, back in 2018, I participated in Leadership Berkeley. I don't know if you all know what that is, but it's supported by their Chamber of Commerce out there, where you start to learn a little bit about the inner workings of local government, what it takes to actually support a local government here in a small rural community. And during those sessions, during that whole time, really instilled the fact that, servitude and service to your community is needed from all sorts. And so when the opportunity came up, the opening at Parks and Recs, I applied. Very interested in serving. I believe in building strong community through shared experiences and play. So I think there's a lot that can be built off of that, and a lot of commonalities that can be built off of that. So I am available on Wednesday nights, which is the evening I understand the board meets. So that night is always freed up for me, and I'm willing to volunteer and serve. So I'm happy to answer any questions you might have, and thank you for the opportunity to apply.
Does your wife still work, or significant other, or whatever, does she still work for the federal agency who is putting together the 250th year celebration for the United States?
Sesquicentennial.
Yes.
Say that.
Semi-quincentennial.
Yes.
That's an ongoing situation right now.
Is
Probably
it?
better for her to answer that question than me.
Okay. I remember us talking about
Well,
that.
yeah.
Because I wanted to look into that if possible.
I'm sure she'd love to
Because
talk.
it's our birthday too, 250.
That's right, it sure is.
So, or whatever the word is.
It sure is.
So, anyway, I just thought of that.
Any other questions? Okay. All right, Matt, you can go on to your meeting, and unless you want to stay for Michael
Minute and a
Powell's,
half.
Mr. Michael Powell's, talk with us or whatever.
I fully support whatever Michael's doing.
I didn't know what was going up against him either.
But,
Terrible.
I'll stay for a little bit, but I do, route 9 gets a little tricky sometimes,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, I don't want
I'll
you to miss that meeting down there. That's why I brought you forward. So, Mr. Powell, you have the floor.
Thank you. My name is Michael Powell. I've lived here since 2014. I'm the president of Morgan County Soccer Leagues, and I'm the school psychologist for Morgan County Schools. When I saw the opening, I was kind of like Matt, just thought it would be good to be part of that, especially being on the soccer league board. That way to have that communication between the Morgan County Parks and Recreation and the soccer league. And that's pretty much why I applied. I got 4 daughters that are range from high school to elementary school, so they're moving through all the different sports and activities through here, and that's why I applied, to see if I could help out and fill a spot. I didn't know I was competing with Matt here.
We coach soccer together.
All right, well,
Let me say this. I know both of these two
Yeah.
and their children. I know them both professionally and personally, and I could not pick between the two of you if I sat here.
I
and
was
tried.
going to say the same thing. I
Yeah.
think the same thing.
So what I
Can we
suggest we
have both of
do
them?
is, I don't think we can have both of them.
Why?
Can we?
Why not?
I don't think we got
We're
one
we're
open.
allowed three.
That's what I thought.
But
Why?
then if I may make a comment,
Yeah,
I go to the meetings. I'm involved with it. I help with a couple of their programs. We can have one, but they're not kicking anybody else out. And if you want to be just Joe Citizen like me and say, I'd like to contribute, man, they will snatch you faster than
Right,
you can shake a
yeah.
stick
I
at.
thought of something else, and I don't know if we can do this or not, but maybe we could rotate between both of them.
I don't know if they
You
allow
put them
it.
both on there and rotate back and forth.
I'll be honest with you. My feelings would not be hurt if
Al,
Matt
any
was
certificate?
there.
Listen.
I come when I need to
I mean,
the meetings
Our,
anyways.
our problem is, we got 2 good candidates, and it's like, I know Matt, I don't know you, but you seem like you're really ready to go, and Matt, and I'm like, okay, now how do we?
My
I don't get a
suggestion was
vote.
going to be, you guys go on about your way, and we'll look at whichever application we receive first gets the nod.
Oh, boy.
I don't know how else to do it.
I got a quarter
Or both.
Would
My
you be our
said he'd be willing
psychologist?
to-
Could we hire you because we need one in here
I've only
also.
school age children. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
We act like school-age children.
But,
I don't know. I mean, if you do that, I know Matt had his in prior,
there you go.
so.
But I'm looking at
There you go.
emails and dates. They're all the 17th and 18th of January.
Yeah,
We need to go back and verify these.
Well, Mike just said he would be willing to step aside and let Matt take the position, so I
Definitely.
think that settles
Yeah.
it.
Oh, boy.
And I'll
Oh, my God.
be the
You
way.
guys always were.
I got his ear.
There we go.
All right, well then let's call a vote. Everybody that is
Need a
willing
motion.
for,
Aye.
need a motion,
Aye.
need a motion.
I move that we go ahead and approve Matt Pennington as a representative to the Parks and Rec.
A second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor. Any discussion? All right, I'll call the vote for Matt Pennington,
Aye.
okay, for Michael Powell.
No.
No, it's not.
You only get one.
I know. But if you would be willing to kind of maybe be there, because never know when something comes up with Matt that he can't.
He
you know.
flies off the handle all
Yeah, so, I mean, I hope there's no hard feelings.
Definitely not.
Like I said, we try, I mean, our whole system that we have here right now, all volunteers.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't make it without our landmarks commission, and, we've got we got Larry Landon with the
Planning.
planning commission. I mean, and
Trying to
we
fill
have-
Matt's old shoes.
Yeah, so, I mean, we have so many volunteers that are willing to step up to the plate. That's what I like about this town. I mean, when we ask for people, boom, they're there. So, so right now, it looks like Matt's going to represent us on there, but if something happens and he has to
He
step down,
fails.
please,
Yeah.
Got
You'll
somebody
holler at
coming
us
together.
again. You know.
Sorry, I couldn't volunteer to be your psychologist. I have my purview.
Sometimes we need that, you know. I was thinking if you said yes, I'd be calling you probably every day. So, you know, but anyway, so Matt's going to be our representative. So,
Thank you very much.
Like I said, thanks to all the volunteers. If we didn't have the volunteers, we couldn't do what we do here sitting here. So anyway, I'm going to ask for a motion to go back to our original agenda.
So moved.
Okay. Second.
Congratulations, gentlemen.
Thank
you.
Hey, you didn't get on there.
Okay.
I voted for you. I was the only one voted.
And I would have a shaggy beard.
And it's only because I know more
We have a
about
motion and a second on the floor to go back to our
What's
regular
your name?
agenda. All those in favor?
Uh,
Opposed? Okay, that goes. We're going back to persons before council. We don't have anything on here, so we're gonna get communications from the mayor. We have I don't know if you've seen the letter from Mr. Abruzzi. Okay, I'm gonna put that in your all's hands right now. He wrote a letter. You have it in your package. You can read it, about the Historical Landmarks Commission. So if you have any problems, we can talk, and I've kind of got an idea of where we want to go there. So,
I think there have been a couple letters.
yeah, there's been a couple
Been a
letters.
couple,
So like I said, I'm
pertaining to-
going to leave that with the Landmark Commission, and I'll try to get with you. Maybe I'll stop up at the restaurant one morning and we'll go from there. So,
Yeah.
okay, everybody okay with that?
Glad to have you.
Yeah.
Glad to have you.
Yeah. Okay. And the next thing is a big thing, and I'm going to let Susan talk about it with the North Wilk Street. Her and I talked here, about a month, 2 months ago, something like that, about Wilk Street. And she said she was going to try to talk to some people when she was up in Charleston. And lo and behold,
Action.
we have action.
We have action. I went to Charleston a couple of weeks ago on some personal business, a little business lobbying and like that, like we do. And I always, whenever I'm in Charleston, of course, I walk around and try to see, people who have influence over projects that we have and things that we need in the town. One of the stops I made was to the West Virginia DOH. I talked with a couple of folks who worked with us directly on streetscape, rail trail, and those kind of projects, the depot. And we talked about those projects, and they're very happy with our response and the work and progress that we make with these projects. And so then I said, well, Wilk Street and the issues it's been. And they recalled that Wilk Street is on a future streetscape plan. It's a plan put forth for the whole town a few years ago. And I just described how awful it was and how it didn't seem like we could ever get anything going because it is a street that is maintained by the state of West Virginia. In the state of West Virginia, since 1932, all streets are either municipal or they're state. There's no county road system. So there are several streets in the town that are maintained by the state of West Virginia. And believe it or not, Wilk Street from Fairfax to St. George is in the system. So I described what was going on, and I just asked, what would their suggestions be as to how to handle this and how to get some action on it. And their suggestion was that I write to the Secretary of Transportation, Jimmy Riston. So I came home, and the first thing I did was I submitted a complaint to the state person about Wilk Street. And then I started, compiling a letter, which I've sent to council for their thoughts or their, corrections and like that. A couple versions of letters to go out to Secretary Riston, who's quite an interesting person, by the way. He's a high school dropout and worked and decided to, at one point, he got so many bonuses and in such an amount of money that he decided to quit his job and go back to school and become an engineer. So he's someone who has really worked their way up in the system. So he's a normal person. So he's okay. So 1 week after I had talked to the DOH, in Charleston, I got a call from our local DOH superintendent, Todd Hutchison, who told me that he had my complaint on his desk and he wanted to talk to me about it because they have decided to put Wilk Street on the spring-summer schedule to repave. What they're going to do, and I don't have an exact date, and he says, please don't say a date because we don't have that settled. But what they're going to do is from Union to St. George, they will repair the awful holes, repair those. They will take care of the drainage situations. It'll be a 2-inch overlay that will be crowned. And they're also going to take care of the drains out here in front of Town Hall that is consistently, the stop sign is hit 2 or 3 times a year by cars that don't see the sign there. So they're going to build a little island type thing that doesn't take anything from our parking, but will protect that sign. And so, I was flabbergasted and thanked him, and the next morning called again to make sure I wasn't dreaming. And he assured me that, it is going to happen. One thing that he has asked for help with is the vehicles on that street. And I said, that is something the town can help you with, and I will, personally make an attempt. Larry Landon has offered to help with this. I want the people to know personally, this is, one of the best things that could ever happen to Wilk Street, and that their inconvenience really will be, a day or two. I mean, once these guys start working, it's amazing how quickly these things can go. And we will help them with places to park and move their vehicles. If the vehicles don't belong on the street anyway, maybe we can assist them in finding other places. But this is just we can barely wipe the smile off our
Well, we
face.
can always
We never
talk
thought
to-
it would happen. It hasn't happened yet, but believe me, we're on it. we are
I
definitely
told
on
her,
it.
I said, I won't believe it until I see the first truck with blacktop show up. And when it
One of the
shows
things
up-
we talked about as well in finance was that once we get this done,
Mhm.
is that we have the police really enforce that no unregistered vehicles
Right.
are parked on this street. Because there are some vehicles that are here
Right.
24/7, like a permanent parking lot.
And, we have vehicle storage laws, we have all kinds of stuff. So, this is really an opportunity. And as Streetscape does have this street in the system that they have turned into the state as their overall project. It is a future project to do sidewalks and like that. So we'll all just keep our fingers crossed, it's apparently gonna happen. But sometimes it just takes, pushing something over the edge. So we will let folks know. I hope they're happy about it. I understand that there are some people that have moved their cars already just out of the excitement of hearing that it was gonna happen. So, we're gonna move forward with it, and it's just good news for the whole revitalization of the North End. So, yay.
So once we have a date, then we'll
Well,
let
we'll
everybody
know.
know, and then
Absolutely.
we'll make sure to get those cars out of there. I think people will be happy. There are a lot of people up on Wilk Street that have stopped me and said, when are you gonna get something that? So originally what I got on council to accomplish in 2006. So this is, we've talked and talked,
Takes a
we've sent
while.
letters, we,
Takes a while.
It's right on schedule, I guess you could.
yeah, it's
call
right
it.
on schedule with the state.
That's one way of
So, but if this does transpire, it'll be a really good thing for town. I did tell Susan that I would like to find out. I don't know if you want to give him a call. We might want to install some speed bumps because once that's paved and it's a good road, the people are going to use. Instead of using the light, they're going to come up here and come down and turn to go up to Great Capon or whatever. So we're going to have to do something. And if they won't put them on there, maybe they'll let us, get them.
Best thing to do is have them include that as
Yep.
part of the project.
Yep.
When you put in the temporary bumps, you're drilling into
Well, I
it.
wasn't
and
gonna
water
drill,
gets
I was
down.
gonna do a regular,
Yeah,
one
it's
like
the
we.
easiest they do
yeah.
it is just part of the pavement job.
So.
So we can
So
talk to
Susan,
them
since
about
you have all
that.
the contacts now, tell them we want speed bumps as well.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see.
So-
I've never known the state to do speed bumps, but it's worth bringing.
Well, tell them it's a safety issue
Yeah,
because we have a lot of kids on that street. I don't know how many times a year.
Because the mayor lives on that street and we don't want them getting hit.
Yeah, well, go ahead and run me over. I don't care.
as long as it gets straight face.
Yep, as long as we get it paid, I don't care. So, okay. All right. Thank you, Susan. All right, we're gonna move.
Comment for real. Thank you, Susan. As a resident of Wilk Street, thank you very
You're
much
welcome.
for continuing to push that and, the community, or the representative of the North Wilk Street community, we thank you.
Well, you're welcome.
Good deal. All right, we're gonna move on to Bath Development. I don't have anything from them. Their next meeting is the 1st of March, 4:30. Parks and Recs, we've already done. Planning Commission.
So council, we had to roll ours. We got one member who got sick at the last minute. I got another one who's in Kenya. So we're going to roll the agenda for next month. And again, just continuing with the comprehensive plan, and the assessment. So no, just a little bit of slowdown. But we still continue to have our weekly working group. So Monday at 09, we're right in here cranking along. So if anybody has anything they want to inject into the process, that's the best time to do that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Rails and Trails. He's out of town right now. He did leave us.
He sent us all some, but it's not in our package.
Yeah, it's not in the package,
I've
so,
got here just in my stuff, the Rails and Trails did not send
yeah.
anything on that.
Yeah. Okay, streetscapes, we also, they sent, but, we'll get that out to all council members. I
And
think you
that's
put it
moving
out on.
along. That's making
It was
Yeah.
this morning.
good progress.
Yeah, they're moving along, so, okay. Yep, Train Depot.
Okay, Depot, we are moving along with that too. They are putting paint on the walls and I'm telling you, it looks so sharp, Larry. It does. It's green and cream with the dark brown stained like woodwork and like that. So it's not in the big room yet, but they do have the station master's room done. If you want to stop in and look at it, the windows are back from the glazier, and these are the ticket windows that goes up and down in the baggage window. They're having a little bit of a time finding weights because these are old windows and they need the
Yeah, he was
weights.
afraid he was gonna.
So
With the chains.
yes, and it is, let's see, Michael Mills may be here tomorrow. He's the president of the Mills Group. He may be here. He's gonna, call us, and maybe he'll go down and look at his work and like that. They're still looking at a February completion, which is rolling up. And I'm still looking at a grand opening or some type of celebration in May, middle to later May to have like a grand opening down there. So that's moving along too. We're
Yeah.
gonna drag these things across the finish line.
Yeah, we're gonna get it all done.
So,
All right,
okay.
landmarks.
So there was a training provided by SHPA, started today. It's a 2-day program, and we participated in that today. And hopefully we'll be able to participate again tomorrow afternoon. We're getting ready to submit requests for funds to the town council for the hotel motel tax. I know the deadline's end of February, so at our next meeting, which is February the 16th, we'll hopefully be able to go over that and then get that submitted to you guys before the deadline.
Okay.
Any questions for the commission?
Now, I did stop and talk with SHPO while I was in Charleston also, with Meredith Graystack, and just talked about the progress with the group, your meetings, what you're doing, the training that you're attending and, learning and your goals. I explained your goals and like this. I also asked about the insurance on the depot. We have a little bit of concern that, it's insured for $260,000 and we've put in, there's a lot more money that has been put into that, and to see if they have any suggestions. They didn't off the cuff have any kind of suggestions as to what to do. So we're looking maybe towards our agent as to how to handle insurance issues for a building of that value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meredith was the one that led the training today, along with a representative from the National Park Service.
He was from, not that, well, under that auspice.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Yeah. So they're aware, and they're aware that you're being active and that they're appreciative
Yeah.
of that.
yep, okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, clerk and recorder's report, Madam Clerk.
We had our annual audit yesterday. Everything seemed to run smoothly, so we'll just await their results. Budget preparation workshop is a reminder that is on February the 22nd. That is to help anybody with the municipality's budget. The hotel motel fund applications need to be in our office by the 28th, either through the door, email, or drop them off. But if they're received after that, they're not taken into consideration. And then I have the election calendar in your package. We did confirm that the 20th of June, if for some reason the governor does make the 19th a holiday and everything moves over, we'll just move that back one day, and the West Virginia state auditors were okay with that.
Right.
Good deal.
And this calendar is in compliance with the law that we passed
2 years.
2 years ago. It worked
Yeah.
well the last time. And so that's the only thing, and it's just, we don't know what the governor will do.
Right.
I guess we could, if you wanted to pass this, if we wanted to go ahead and pass this, with the stipulation that the 19th, if the governor does give, public employees off that day, that the date be moved to the 21st. I don't know if should we do that, or should we wait a while longer? We can't be the only community asking
Right.
that.
Lexa Brown said that just go ahead and process it. I sent it to her and she said it was okay the way it was. And then if anything changed, we would just move the canvassing date back one day.
Okay, so we can, okay. I'd like to make a motion that we pass the Town of Bath election dates as presented.
Second.
Have a motion and a second on the floor to pass the Town of Bath election dates. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that motion passes. So,
Sharon, our budget prep thing, those dates, we're gonna go with what you sent out.
That was, yes, the finance. It was just, I'll get this out. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Unless you guys had anything.
No.
Okay.
We didn't
Yes.
have the awful.
all right, do you have anything else, Madam Recorder?
Yeah, I've done enough.
Okay.
I'm tired.
All right, well, let's go on to finance. Let's pay a few bills this evening.
Everything was good matched up with these numbers here.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're gonna let you read. if you
Oh,
want.
yeah, I just wanted to
Or
make sure there
anybody
was
else, or do
no
you read?
changes on there.
No.
All right, I'd like to make a motion to pay the town of Bath bills in the amount of $26,613.41.
Second.
Have a motion and a second on the floor to pay the Town of Bath bills in the amount of $26,613.41. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
All right, I would like to make the motion to pay the Berkeley Springs Waterworks bill in the amount of $10,639.31.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second on the floor to pay the Berkeley Springs Waterwork bills in the amount of $10,639.31. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. All right, anything else? Just those two? Okay. All right, tree board.
Kate Lehman came to Finance Committee meeting today to ask for a recommendation from the Finance Committee The issue that she addressed with us is if you may recall, a couple of years ago, I think it was last year actually, Kate Lehman came to the town council and asked for approval in principle of a grant to do a tree survey for the town. And the council did approve that grant. The grant was put on hold for a couple of reasons. The tree board is now ready to apply for that grant again. They know that there will be no difficulty with getting in-kind funds for the grant. I believe it's 50%. And so the real issue that they wanted to address with the finance committee is that the grant is for about $11,000. And they are, the tree board does not have $11,000 in its account. So what they are looking for is the town to pay the $11,000 plus upfront on behalf of the tree board, so the bills can be paid as they come into the state. And then once the project is complete, then the grant money is given to the tree board, and the tree board can reimburse the town for the $11,000. The finance committee discussed this issue with Sharon, and she said that she would recommend that we look to our reserve fund as a vehicle where we can upfront the money to the tree board for this grant, and then that fund would be reimbursed when the tree board receives the grant. So I'm reporting that to the town council. Does anyone have any questions or concerns? Otherwise, we told Kate to go ahead unless she heard anything from the council.
Dealing with the same kind of a grant through the tree board before, the reimbursement payments are real quick in coming, so this is not one we're gonna have to wait for a long period of time.
Right.
And this is a project that she believes that will be done by fall. So the money will not be out of the reserve fund for all that long. So certainly no later than November. And so, okay, I will make sure that she understands that that's fine.
Do we need a motion on that, or can you authorize it to the finance?
We authorized it through
That's
finance. We told
fine.
her to go ahead. I believe that it's okay.
Yeah,
We've done this on numerous.
I know we have, so-
Streetscape and.
yeah, we did that.
Historic
Absolutely.
landmarks. We did it with them, with the.
Okay.
Historic survey, so
All right,
this is.
it's settled then. We'll let them have the money. They're one of our committees, so we'll let them do what needs to be done, and then it'll come back to us, so. Okay, all right, Grant?
Nothing to report right now.
Okay. All right, public safety?
I have nothing to report.
Okay.
Next meeting, that's all.
Okay. Cemetery?
Same thing as the Historic Landmark Commission. I will have my grant in by the end of the week for hotel motel monies. And I'm also submitting a grant to the county to ask them to consider helping us finance the cost of repairing the mausoleum in Greenway Cemetery. And that's all I have.
Okay. All right. Ordinance, we didn't meet tonight because Chris was away, so we're continuing our work on the handbook and a few other things. So we will be back with you all next month on that. Chris sent out the updated copy that we were looking at, and we will be looking at that to go ahead and get our personnel handbook updated. So, Waterworks, Chris isn't here again. We did have a meeting last night. We had a
And you
problem.
skip public work.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Did
Oh,
you
I'm
have-
sorry.
Go.
Go.
I'll wait till you're done with water.
Did you want?
All right, I'm sorry, I've skipped public works, but anyway, Waterworks we had last night, we had a meeting, had progress report. We're about getting close to about 3/4 of the way through the water line replacement. We still have some parts yet to come in. They're working diligently, trying to get stuff done. So we should have a finish up on this here probably in the next couple months. Everything hopefully will be done, And that part of the water line replacement that we got the Small Cities Block Grant will be finished up. So.
And any of the comments of people that were affected by the work, the company has made good on rectifying anything they've had.
Yeah, we've had good success this time around with the contractor and with the engineer. So we've had meetings a good bit, meeting with the water department and with us. So anyway, we'll move back to Public Works that I skipped.
That's for last.
Yes.
First thing, we've been lucky again with the snowfall this winter, but our guys have been kept pretty busy. This week, we received from one of our constituents pictures of on Green Street, right down here where you turn off of Fairfax, there's a dilapidated green fence that is a white fence that's half up and half down. The sidewalk is in total disrepair, and there's a big pothole on Green Street outside of that. So we all went, we looked at it. The pothole has already been patched. The fence is on private property. There's not a whole lot we can do about that piece of it. And the sidewalk realistically belongs to the homeowner. So a letter will be sent that according to our ordinance, that's their responsibility to maintain the sidewalk so that people can walk on it. We'll see what happens with that. We might have to revisit that down the road when it probably gets nowhere. The community garden market called. They used to have 3 parking meters in front of their store, and now there's only 2. So Rodney's going to go out there tomorrow and replace the pole, and they'll put another parking meter so that he doesn't lose his 3 that are outside the store.
What happened there?
And asked me sometime when they put it down, they just took out the pole. So there used to be 3 and now there's 2. And then we had a call from a gentleman that lives on Rockwell Street who wanted to know why when he drives to go to work and he lives on Rockwell Circle but has to go to Rockwell Street, wanted to know why only part of it was paved. Well, the reason that part of it was paved was because the part of it that's ours is paved and the part that belongs to DOH
On the other side.
is not
Right. Right.
so once he was made aware of that, he was fine with that. And the other one, we had the intersection of Harrison and Independence. A stop sign or a street sign was taken out, obviously, by a car. DOH was called. They already went and they took down the old one. They're going to replace it now.
Right.
And Rodney and I started planning for our budget, and just to prepare for you guys, we're going to be needing either out of this year's budget or next year, going to replace the Ford 250. And we're going to have to get a new plow with that one as we go through that. But I think we'll be able to make it. We're going to look around now, and if we can afford to do it out of depreciation money, we'll do it now before the next budget year and see what happens with that. And Rodney and I also have an innovative paving idea that we'll present when we start budget. I'll just leave it there.
Okay. All right.
Rick, there's still a parking meter sitting in front of Terry's that car took out. Could they
From
put it
Terry's
back
too.
in?
Yeah. It's the
Yeah,
Sharon,
because
can you just
the
add
same
that to
com-
Rodney's, have him replace both of those poles and get meters on them.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. He needs to get that done
And
because
he-
he's been told
And
to.
he can come and see me.
Right.
Just send him to see me
And
tomorrow.
also, there was supposed to be a sign put up from the alleyway, a higher up sign that says no parking here to corner.
And that's me, Rose. I haven't ordered it.
Oh, okay.
Also, if you talk to Rodney more before, I won't say anything. Where they put the gravels and stuff down from the.
He
fire.
knows. We already talked
we'll
about
just,
the
we'll just
gravel.
get that cleaned up.
Just get the sweeper.
Yeah, just get sweeper and sweep
He
it up.
knows.
Okay.
Sharon mentioned that to him earlier this evening.
Yeah, Larry.
Mr. Mayor, for the, back to the water works real quick, just, this got identified through the planning commission. I'm just wondering how we're doing at trying to find a replacement for the leadership that is.
We are currently working on it.
Yeah.
We had some good discussion last night. Have nothing actually penciled down to a T, but there are some leads that we were given last night
Good.
that we hopefully will be able to capitalize on.
Okay.
So if anybody knows anybody that's a class 2 operator, even a class 1 operator for water, send them our way, because we're having to, we've had a few glitches and we got some people that are at retirement age. So we need to see if we can find either a class 1 or class 2 operator that's certified in the state of West Virginia. I don't know if somebody's interested. If they are, come talk to Ron Giannini from the plant, or come in here and then the ladies in the office will put you in contact with them. So anyway.
Thank you.
Not just.
All right, this is
the whole
the
private sector.
time of the meeting that I asked if there's anybody that needs to come before council. Okay,
Nobody to fill those together.
3 minutes.
I've got 3 quick things. Can you tell me the date that you all are gonna sit down and deal with the hotel motel requests?
March 1st.
March 1st.
March 1st here,
Yeah.
time, do you know, Sharon?
I think I marked it for 3:30, but I will have that out either on Facebook and on the website.
Okay. And Susan, you may want to think about, you were talking about doing a grand opening for the train depot. The trail depot across the street, I believe, is opening on Memorial Day. So that would be a good,
That would be
a good
That
coordination.
would be a great idea.
And if it was
Yeah.
after Operation Clean Sweep, so that everything was all shiny and new looking.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll make sure that end of town looks good if that's the date that we come up with. That's a good idea though, because we could really have that end of the town hopping, for the beginning of the summer. That would be really great.
Food trucks.
And if you're looking at meters, Rick, I think it was you with meters, there are several that aren't working. And they all, I don't know what's wrong
Putting
with
up the
them.
poles will be Rodney, but checking out the meters is public safety.
Okay,
Yeah,
because
we-
there's several that don't work.
Yeah,
I
they
can
need
tell you
that.
which ones, it's where people park all the time.
Yeah, they need batteries.
The ones that get used,
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
9
they-
cents out of 10, they're batteries and,
Chief emptied the meters with JC
JC,
on
yeah.
Saturday, and they did mark which ones needed the
Okay.
attention, so they are aware of it.
Okay, that's all.
All right.
My 3 minutes was up.
All
we got
right,
more time.
anybody else?
Love seeing you.
All right, then I would ask for a common consent of adjournment of the meeting.
You got it.
Got it.
Or adjourn.
Got it.
Get sleep through the night yet?
Not this week.
Not as
You know how-
Not last week.
Yeah, you can